Sports live here. BUZ HD3 Laverne. We are the Game Nashville Sports Network. ESPN 94.9. The Fan.
30 years of the best sports talk in Middle Tennessee. It's the George Plaster Show, featuring Tennessee Sports Hall of Famers Kelly Holcomb and young gun Billy Derrick. And now, here's your host, George Plaster.
Hello again, everybody. Welcome in. It is a beautiful Thursday. It's upper 80s, but all things considered, not bad.
A touch of fall.
Well, a little
bit.
Little baby touch of fall, I would go. Hey, before we do anything, I want to pass this on. Willie has put this out here, and I want to put it out as well. There will be a celebration of life for Aaron Donick on Saturday, this coming Saturday at 4 p.m. at the Oz Arts of Nashville, which is located at 6172 Cockrell Bend Circle in Nashville. 3 o'clock for a visitation and 4 o'clock for the service. I know a lot of you over the years when Willie was a part of this show listen to him and would want to know that. So I wanted to pass that on. Now, let's get things going. Let's start in Murfreesboro. Kelly Holcomb, what's going on?
I don't know it, George. How you doing?
I'm good.
I'm good as well. I'm just I called Billy earlier a little frustrated because I think there's only 5 games to pick. So that means you and I are going to get shafted this week.
Yeah, you know what? We're just going to have to deal with it.
Well, I guess so. I don't know.
I mean,
you won this thing last year, right?
I did. I would be your defending champion.
I made it close, though, at the end.
You made it very close. If I remember it, didn't it come down to the final game?
It did. And Billy was talking trash all year. Can you win a game? Can you win a game? It's never over till it's over, Billy.
Yeah, you came real close to
pay no attention
to winning last year.
Pay no attention.
Yes, I did.
Billy.
It's a battle for who wants Idaho State more.
Why were you letting him get under your skin?
Say that again, George.
Why were you letting Billy get under your skin?
Oh, I was not letting Billy get under my skin, but it's just irritating to hear a little chipmunk from the bleacher section talking, hey, you got to win a game. Can you get something? Billy, shut up.
I hear that every 4:56.
You gotta admit that was a bad run last year.
It doesn't matter how you start, it's how you finish, Billy. And I came close to winning at the end. I didn't. I came up a little bit short. But, hey, I overtook you, which is, that was at that point, that was really all I was wanting to do.
Yeah, first off, I shouldn't have ever been in that competition anyway. And I held my own.
It was a weak field, which is the only reason I won. Let's be honest. Okay, on that, let's go to our Daily Titans update with Terry McCormick. Terry, Main Street Media and TitanInsider.com, and his Yankees are the owner of a 5-game winning streak as they open a series tonight in an attempt to basically take the Red Sox and throw them in the trash can. Hello, Terry.
That would be wonderful. I was listening to your banter about the Underdog Picks. It sounds like you guys were collectively the AFC South last year. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of truth to that.
Yeah, absolutely. We were the OVC.
Wow, we had people leave. We had to reorganize. It was a mess.
So it's more like one of these fly-by-night leagues.
It had a little UFL to it.
All you got to know is that George won the contest.
Yeah, that's all we have to know. Because as long as I've been on, George has never won the contest, I don't think. And I've been on for a long time.
Well, there was the one year he let me in it and I won it.
Oh, did you?
We've never let you back in.
I know.
All I know-
I was on my deathbed at one point during the season, but still won it.
Yes.
All I know is
when I had COVID in 2021. That was the year I was in it.
Billy,
all I
wow.
know is this, George. All I know is this: we got the Muhammad Ali of picking games and Al Dorsey coming on. The general. I told Billy today. I used to make fun of him, telling him he had spreadsheets out in the dining room floor, looking at that stuff all day. I've never seen a guy. I think he won it 5 years in a row.
The general, as you know, is a well-respected military leader in our country. One more thing before we get to the Titans. So you're sitting here taking a cheap shot at me, Billy, for winning it. Well, I beat your butt.
Yeah, but that was my first time ever in the contest.
So what?
I mean,
Nobody cares.
Yeah.
Billy, nobody cares.
Here's a dime. Call somebody who does care.
I mean, you can't hold that against me.
Oh, no, we do. We absolutely do. Terry, what is going on out at Titan Central?
Absolutely nothing. Actually, it was a day off.
Well, this should be a report. Thank you.
But since you need a report, they are getting ready to face the Vikings. Doesn't sound like the Vikings are going to play much of anybody in the way of starters tomorrow night. So yet another outing for the Titans here where don't know how much they'll be actually tested. When you're going against second and third teamers, but still a big deal for some of these guys at the back of the roster trying to solidify their spot. Because remember this, George, not only do they have to survive until Tuesday, but they also are going to have to survive the cuts on Tuesday. And some of these guys may be a Titan for 24 hours and then get cut themselves to make room for somebody that they feel like is an upgrade from another team.
Terry, give me 3 or 4 positions where you think they are likely to look strong at the waiver wire.
Well, obviously, offensive and defensive line, I think, are key positions there where you're always looking for depth. And so, and keep in mind, what they pull off the waiver wire, most of the time, it's not going to be starter quality players. Most of the time, it's going to be guys who can play special teams, guys who can fill in if they need to as backups. Cornerback, I think, would be one. Edge rusher for sure, if there's somebody there that they feel like can help. And Kelly has a question, it looks like, or a comment.
Oh, no, keep going. I'm trying to tell George, I want to ask you something when you finish. Sorry.
Okay.
And I still think they need help in the wide receiver room, but we'll see what pops on the waiver wire.
Oh, there's no question they do.
Yeah. Terry, is there a guy, because they started coming up with this rule, is there a veteran guy? Because if you make the 53-man roster and they have to keep you on opening game day, then if they cut you the next week, they have to pay your whole salary. Is there any guys like that on the roster right now? Because for a player, I'm trying to make it to that, but with all these meetings that these people have, and they understand that, and if there's a guy kind of on the fence that's a veteran guy, they'll cut him for a week and then maybe bring him back if nobody picks him up. Is there guys like that?
Oh, absolutely. I would think that there'd be some guys like that. I mean, Quandre Diggs, I think, would be on that list coming in late to camp. I think it's possible Van Jefferson could be on a list like that, where cut him, bring him back in week 2 when you don't have to guarantee his entire salary. I think that there are a couple of guys in that boat. Maybe some of these backup veteran offensive linemen, that they brought in. It's a possibility that one of those could get let go and brought back.
Terry, in your opinion today, if Calvin Ridley is clearly the number 1 receiver, in order, who would 2, 3, 4 be?
Right now, 2 is probably Tyler Lockett. 3 and 4 is probably either between Alec Eilmanor and Van Jefferson. I think that's probably your top 4 right now, with Chimere Dike and Bryce Oliver also in the mix. And they're probably going to end up keeping James Prochet to return punts because he's really the only viable option that they have. So they could keep 7 receivers if they keep, everybody that's kind of gotten a look, with the first group or 2 in preseason.
Okay, you've gone, and I want you to say the name because I butcher it. the rookie out of Stanford has basically gone ahead of DK?
Yes, Alec Eilmatter is a guy that just seems to be a big type of target, and he also has pretty deceptive speed for a bigger guy. I think he probably ranks ahead of DK right now in terms of the pecking order. That's not to say that both those guys won't contribute this year. I think they will. But I think right now it certainly has appeared throughout the latter part of camp that they are really kind of pushing Eilmatter to get him ready and maybe have a more significant role in the first few weeks.
Gotcha. Terry, let's do tomorrow at 4 p.m.
Sounds good.
Okay. That's Terry McCormick's Daily Titans update here on the show. Billy, you have update material. Needs to be good.
It is good. And just like it always is.
Yeah, whatever.
It's brought to you by Football Night in Nashville, kicking off September the 4th at Sports and Social in Green Hills. Cowboys and Eagles. Come out and join us. Still feels like that's 2 months away. This preseason's way too long, but come out and join us September the 4th at Sports and Social out at Green Hills. All right, we start today. We've talked all about this, the old 8 versus 9 game schedule in the SEC. Well, looks like Southeastern Conference is moving closer to a 9-game conference schedule, according to a report by Seth Emerson, who we've had on before in The Athletic. So far, the ACC obviously has resisted adding the 9th game for several reasons, including attempting to protect the rivalry games inside the conference. But according to the report, this 9-game schedule would have SEC schools play 3 of the same opponents every year, along with 6 new opponents each season, which we've hinted at as well. The 3 annual opponents would ensure rivalries are protected, but they won't be set in stone. And the conference would revisit these opponents for each school on a 4-year cycle. So a sticking point here is Mississippi State, weirdly enough. Every SEC school except for Mississippi State has fewer than 4 non-conference games currently scheduled for next season, 2026.
So are we throwing them out of the league?
Yeah, I mean, that could be. But that means the 9-game schedule could be implemented as soon as next season. It doesn't mean it will, but it could be, assuming Mississippi State can drop one of those non-conference opponents.
Yep.
So
film at 11.
Also, Northwestern and former head coach Pat Fitzgerald have settled their lawsuit. The terms have not been made public, but of course he filed for this after he was dismissed 2 years ago. He sued the school for $130 million for wrongful termination back in 23. It came, of course, after allegations of hazing in the program, which President Michael Schill at the time called widespread and clearly not a secret. But Fitzgerald said, "I'm proud to say I ran a world-class football program." He acknowledged there was hazing, but went on to say, of course, "I ran a world-class football program at Northwestern."
I've always been a big fan of his, but Kelly, I don't believe for me, much as I don't believe that Harbaugh didn't know about what was going on with Connor Stallions and that deal, I don't believe that Pat Fitzgerald is that stupid or that clueless and out of touch with what's going on in his program.
Well, the bottom line is the head coach has to know all that stuff. Now, I do know this, and I've told you this before. Things are kept from head coaches sometimes, but
On purpose.
that still is not. That still is not an excuse. You have to know what's going on. And man, I some of the things that you heard that they did, but like I can remember getting hazed in college too, and it was not a pretty thing when guys went tribal on you, man. It was it's kind of crazy, man, what they did. Singing is the one thing, but then when you get in the dorm, whoo, not fun sometimes.
Fitzgerald said, "I have engaged in a process of extensive fact and expert discovery, which showed that what I have known and said all along, that I had no knowledge of hazing ever occurring in the Northwestern football program, and that I never directed or encouraged hazing in any way." So those were the comments.
I just have a hard time with it. And my guess is the majority of people would feel the same way.
Well, but a lot of times you hear, well, coaches, they got a lot going on. They don't know this or they don't know that. But what you're saying is that they know everything.
Oh, I think most coaches now. I do think there is a piece of what Kelly said, which is keep the head coach from knowing.
Correct.
Because it's easier that way to get away with stuff. But on the other hand, this appears to have been a widespread deal. And for him not to know, he had to be in the ozone.
Yeah, for Pat Fitzgerald, though, being a Northwestern alum, he got hazed when he was there. So come on, what's going on. You know what's happening. And I just don't know how you say that you hadn't heard of anything about it. Like, you have to know what's going on in your organization. You have to know what's going on in your program. He did, in my opinion.
And now they're down the drain a little bit here. It's going to be tough for Northwestern to come back up because they had already gotten back up courtesy of Fitzgerald, and now we'll see where they end up going. Also, Vanderbilt quarterback Diego Pavia, according to Pete Nakos of On3, is set to make north of $2 million this season. The latest I had heard was 1.2, 1.5 million, but just came out that Pavia is set to make $2 million this year. Nakos also reported that Joey Aguilar and Nico Iamaleava are both in the 1.2 million range for this season.
In a related note, I'm not anywhere near any of them. But I also was not a quarterback.
You got that?
No.
Also, at the Lady Vols have suspended Ruby Whitehorn indefinitely after her arrest on August the 8th. They resumed practice this week, and she was not participating. She was arrested after the Knox County Sheriff's Office responded to a domestic dispute back on August 8th. She faces felony charges of aggravated burglary and domestic assault, and a preliminary hearing is planned for September the 5th. And she's one of their better players, if not the best player they've got.
That's not good.
Also in the NFL, to close it out, Shedeur Sanders will play Saturday, and he's supposed to be lined up as the third string. Joe Flacco will start for the Browns, and then you've got Dylan Gabriel behind Flacco. Kenny Pickett also returned to 11-on-11 drills yesterday, but he will not play Saturday because of his hamstring injury.
En route to becoming a Titan?
Most likely.
What did Dylan Gabriel say about Sanders?
I didn't look into it.
I need to go farther with that in a minute, and I will, because that has produced quite the little stir. Okay, here's where we're going. Danny Evans is going to join us. There is some new news in the MLB expansion process that appears to be right in our backyard. Then Underdog Picks at 4:20. A week
5 games.
first slate. Some will argue we shouldn't have done it. So what?
Idaho State.
You know what?
Me.
Get over it. Get over it.
Yeah, I'm going to get Idaho State. Thanks, George. Appreciate it.
No, I don't think you are. I don't think you are.
You will. I think you will.
Probably I will.
I might get the Fresno. I get the Fresno State. Who do they play? I forget who they play.
Fresno has
Kansas.
Kansas. Yeah, I'll get that one.
Well, maybe. We'll see.
Thanks.
Stay
Thanks,
tuned.
George.
Danny Evans is in the on deck circle on 94.9 The Fan.
When I got my first car, my dad told me, keep the gas tank full and my number on speed dial. Now parents are telling their kids, save 615-242-9000 just in case. I'm Blair Durham. If you or someone you love is in a wreck, call us. We're here to get you the money you deserve.
A golf cart from Mikey's Motors is the perfect way to get around this summer. Whether you're going to the park, the pool, or the playground, do it in a brand new golf cart from Mikey's Motors, Franklin and Murfreesboro.
Summertime fun in Tennessee. That's what we sell at Mikey's Motors. Come see how we roll.
It's easy to say good things about the folks at Strike and Spare Family Fun Centers. Number one, I trust them with something that's near and dear to me, the Plaster and Friends Celebrity Bowling Night. But more importantly, I see the fun people have. They enjoy the bowling, they enjoy the camaraderie, and you will too. Come by any of their locations and get ready to have some fun.
As the trusted premier custom home builder in Middle Tennessee, Donnelly Timmons has over 20 years of experience in the industry. Whether you're looking to build your dream home or renovate your current home, their team will ensure that every client and every remodel is unique, luxurious, and completed on time within budget. Founders Dustin Timmons and Joey Donnelly have over 25 years of construction experience in the Nashville area. Together, they have completed projects in Forest Hills, Oak Hill, Green Hills, Franklin, and Brentwood. Dustin and Joey believe that communication is the most important aspect of all construction projects. Therefore, they personally manage each project themselves and are involved in job site activities on a daily basis. Their commitment to quality and integrity has earned them an outstanding reputation among their clients. Contact them to set an appointment for a free consultation or to view some of their completed projects. Give them a call at 615-456-7983 or log on to DonnellyTimmons.com.
At Wilson Bank and Trust, we believe you shouldn't have to choose between personal service and digital solutions. As your local independent bank, we're proud to offer the relationships and trusted service you expect, along with the tools and technology that keep you moving forward. So whether you're growing a business, buying a home, or planning for the future, we're here to help. Because this isn't just where we work, it's where we live too. Wilson Bank and Trust, here to get you there. Member FDIC.
Are you looking for expert medical care in Nashville without leaving your home? Medical House Calls brings concierge-level health care directly to your door. Whether you need urgent attention, ongoing primary care, revitalizing IV therapy, or medically guided weight loss, our experienced providers are just a phone call away at 615-838-2375 or go online, medicalhousecalls.com. Primary care, revitalizing IV therapy, or medically guided weight loss, our experienced providers are just a phone call away at 615-838-2375 or go online, medicalhousecalls.com.
Tonight, your Nashville Sounds continue their 6-game series against Louisville at First Horizon Park. Pre-game at 6:20.
Your sports live here on 94.9 The Fan and the Game Nashville app. It's the George Plaster Show. Your sports live here on 94.9 The Fan.
Well, this is not necessarily where I intended to go with Danny Evans as we welcome him in, but it's kind of gotten out there. And so, Danny, here goes. Hello, and how are you?
What's up, George? I just came home and I haven't been on my computer, so if it's breaking news, you've got me on this one.
Yeah, I don't know about breaking, but Jeff Passan, who is a very well-respected reporter at ESPN, was on McAfee's show, and called Nashville virtually a shoo-in as far as MLB expansion. Now, I remember a couple of years ago reporting on this show that friends of mine had said to me in MLB circles that not only was Nashville under very serious consideration, but was at the top of the list by a pretty good amount. So Passan has kind of followed this up with some of this same kind of talk. But Danny, I look around here and I see a mayor who, it probably not against it, but has openly said, haven't got any money, not sure how to help you. At the moment, we have not for sure identified the owner. Is it former Governor Haslam? Is it Dave Stewart? Is it that close to a shoe-in what you hear from your MLB friends?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me on, and thanks to all the listeners. Very candidly, George, I've thought all along it is the best of all the expansion options. And with all the public rhetoric about expanding to 32 teams, I think it just makes so much sense for Nashville, especially with the talk of the geographic realignment. There's no question Nashville works. It's a vibrant city. It has a history in the game. It's an area that people love to come to. There's a familiarity because of the winter meetings being hosted there numerous times. And very honestly, a lot of people love to go there for entertainment. You've got everything there. I mean, I sound like a Chamber of Commerce guy right now, but it is a fabulous location. And there are other really great cities, Portland, Salt Lake City, Charlotte. I think they're all solid. But for me, Nashville is the best of the options. Now, this might be one of those that they need to get people involved who can fill out this situation. But George, one thing happens all the time in expansion or in franchise sales. We are many times the last people to know. There's so much behind the scenes stuff going on. And I'm a big Jeff Passan guy. I've known him since he started his career at the Kansas City Star. Jeff Passan is a nationally respected guy whom I like a great deal. He's not going to go there unless he has it on good authority that Nashville is a very strong candidate. And I think for baseball, Nashville's an outstanding opportunity.
So let me try it this way. We now think, well, we're pretty sure now, given that the A's have broken ground in Vegas. We know what their situation is. We don't quite know what Tampa Bay's situation is. At the moment, we're assuming that they play in Tropicana in 26, but who knows that for sure. So in your opinion right now, and I know this is a hard one to answer, when will Nashville have to belly up to the bar to say to MLB, this is what we've got?
Nashville's not operating in a vacuum, George. The other teams are seeing comments like that. They're doing their work in the background, trying to do everything they can to get a franchise. You know, George, these franchises are worth hundreds of millions of dollars in economic impact to the community, to the county, to the state. So as a result, Nashville is not by themselves in their interest. So they need to get a cohesive plan and a cohesive group together and pitch as one instead of these fragmented situations that we've heard all about for the last 18 to 24 months. That's not going to work with an expansion situation. And I think expansion is in 30 or 31. And I think when it happens, they better be ready.
When you say that expansion is in 30 or 31, is that you saying that's the first year that expansion teams will play?
Yeah, and I think Rob has said it a few times, and I'm sorry, my allergies are so bad today. I think Rob came out the other day, and George, that's what happens when you walk around an open farm field for about 2 hours and you have ragweed allergies. Not a good move, Dan. Rob Manfred came out earlier in this month. I don't know exactly when, but he talked about 31.
Yeah.
And he talked about it when he talked about bumping it to 32 teams. Now, you have to backpedal a little bit, and I'm not saying backpedal on the decision, but you have to put a team together. You have to go through the process. You have to hire people. You have to go through a draft. You have to assemble a minor league franchise. You know, my guess is these type of things are going to be happening in 27, perhaps 28, but they will happen before the labor agreement has has been expired in the next labor agreement. And I think because of the viability of the franchises and because, candidly, of the television contracts being currently negotiated, the timing is going to be real good at the end of this decade for everything to be in place.
Okay. Last thing on that end. Earlier this summer, when I did the report about the MLB Nashville group seeking the prison site, it really hadn't gone anywhere since then, other than the state acknowledging that they have received the request. When does someone in Nashville have to be able to tell MLB, here's where our stadium's going to be?
George, we don't know. That could already have taken place. Just, loose lips do sink ships. And in this high stakes chess game, some franchises have been thwarted in their bid by some real poor management of information. And I think, candidly, the teams that go about this the best way strategically will end up with the team. I do think they're going to have to get infrastructure. They're going to get infrastructure. They're going to have property. They're going to have ballpark in place. George, design, all the funding, all the grants, anything they're going to do takes a couple years. The construction takes 2 to 3 years. So we're looking at a left lane situation now. Whether the Nashville leadership group is capable of putting that together, I don't know. They haven't been a cohesive group. As you said, no one has stepped forward. They most certainly have in Governor Haslam a guy on the sports scene who's well respected, well thought of within the state. He's a good fit in the sports world, but it's probably going to take a lot more than Governor Haslam to secure the Nashville franchise. And, George, they're not going to want to play in a temporary park originally. They're going to want to play in a real deal ballpark because it'll just enhance the viability of the franchise. I mean, they could play at the current Sounds ballpark, but look what that looks like when you're at Tropicana right now. When you're playing, in a spring training ballpark, when you're playing in Sacramento, you have to capitalize on the vibrancy of the franchise and its origination, like the Rockies did when they started their time in Mile High, drawing 80,000 a game. I think the people, the leadership in Nashville probably are speaking with Major League Baseball, but I haven't seen anything to indicate that voice, that leader, that pillar of the franchise has been selected internally.
The Braves, by the way, today picked up Cal Quantrill from the Marlins in a waiver deal, which I happen to really like. Don't know if there's a long-term future or just simply till the end of the season. Here's the one I want to get to with you. So there's a lot of yapping going on in Chicago about Kyle Tucker, who has been booed recently, but when he was acquired, this was a superstar status kind of deal. He's gotten into a rut and apparently some bad habits based on an injury. What kind of money do you think this is costing him in free agency?
Well, he's a superior talent. He'll be one of the best free agents out there at the end of the year. And if his medicals come back and they come back good, till he got hurt, George, until he went into this spiral, he was having a hell of a year. I mean, he was an all-star and well-deserving and looked like the deal was a good deal. He still has plenty of time this season to display where he is. They didn't play him the first 3 games or the first 3 days of this series. Who'd have thought that the Cubs would go into a critical August series without Tucker and win 3 of the first 4 games? I mean, it's a pretty amazing achievement by a team that was playing currently the best team in baseball. And again, a close game today. But I don't know if Tucker has cost himself all that much money. There's a lot of questions, but it's August 21st. He'll have the platform of the postseason and the playoff race. And George, listen, he's got a good swing. He's got good feel for the game. He's a very versatile player, and position players always have a market because there's so few of them. This guy's a really good player. I read something this morning that the thought was the Cubs were like at best 50%. They traded 3 really good players for him, and he fits long term. I haven't seen anything of him saying, I don't like playing here. Instead, I think we need to see, does he get healthy and does he return to form? And if he does, George, this blip in July and August, we will all forget it because this guy can really play.
I'm with you. He'll figure this out soon.
Yeah.
Kelly, after the break, you go front and center stage. Billy, you as well. Danny will be with us today until 4 o'clock. So no phone calls, but stick around. This is 94.9, The Fan.
When I got my first car, my dad told me, keep the gas tank full and my number on speed dial. Now parents are telling their kids, save 615-242-9000 just in case. I'm Blair Durham. If you or someone you love is in a wreck, call us. We're here to get you the money you deserve.
This is my buddy Stan Harrison from Apple Collision Centers. Recently, you've been talking to me about companies that have a fleet of trucks and they're always in need of repairs.
That's right, George. We understand that nobody likes to deal with the auto body repair process. We try to simplify that at our 3 convenient locations. We work with all major insurance companies. We help to ease the stress of the auto body repair process. We're located in Old Hickory, Hendersonville, and Gallatin. If you need our services, please stop by and see us.
And how convenient that we have that in the background. Now, seriously, these are good folks. They do really good work. Give them a holler. Sports and Social at Green Hills Mall is the new home for our Football Night in Nashville promotion. Their food is terrific. Their TV setup looks like a racing sports book in Vegas. And if you're a sports fan, you can't beat it. Starting September the 4th, we'll broadcast from Sports and Social every Thursday night. There's Pop-A-Shot, great football, and the chance to win a beautiful Mikey's Motors golf cart. See you at Sports and Social in Green Hills Mall. Venture Express has been helping people in this area for more than 40 years. They're headquartered in Murfreesboro with over 30 years of dedicated fleets involving production, manufacturing, and corrugated experiences. They're an asset-based company with over 700 tractors, 4,000 trailers, and 800 drivers. If you need their help, dial them up 615-793-9500 or log on to ventureexpress.com. Here's Officer Garen Hoskins for the Metro Nashville Police Department.
The Metro Nashville Police Department is on the forefront of policing in this century, and I'm glad I'm a part of it. I'm glad I get to find other good officers, other future good officers. And if you're watching today, or you yourself or someone you happen to know is interested, join MNPD.com. Feel free to reach out to us because we need good officers, and it's a great city to work for.
team, and we're very glad to have them. That's just going to be the start of many.
If you want to be part of the Plaster Show advertising family, it's simple. Just email me, plastergeorge@gmail.com. Again, plastergeorge@gmail.com. We will fit your budget and your needs.
A lot of people want to define teams by singular performances.
Sports. Did he not go back into the game after that interception?
Let's get this turned around. And we're all saying, no, they don't.
Here.
You thought you were on your way.
Your sports live here.
On ESPN 94.9.
And the Game Nashville Sports Network. It's the George Plaster Show. Your sports live here on 94.9 The Fan.
Okay, there is news out of Atlanta. If you're a Brave fan who follows this team very closely, you might not be surprised.
Austin Riley, done for the season.
I happen to think it's the right move.
Yeah, he's not been totally healthy really this entire season. So not a surprise.
Kelly, I'm an Austin Riley fan.
I know you're a Braves fan through and through. We get it, George. We know. And you've done games for Memphis and Georgia Tech and everybody around. You know what? We get it. We understand all that.
Just ask questions.
Hey, Danny, so you want me to buy the franchise, huh? What do you think I am? Money bags, big dog?
No, you know what? Buy the franchise, Kelly. Hire me. I'll talk football with you. I mean, whatever. You mean, take that extra $4 billion that you've got from your career, invest it in the baseball team. George and I'll be there to help you. In fact, we'll still do Thursday conversations with you and Billy. No problem. And we'll treat you with the respect that you deserve.
I'm not
well,
sure
I promise
Billy,
you this.
I'm not surely. I don't think Billy gets a cut in this.
Well, I promise you this. If I did buy a franchise, you would be the first guy I go to, but George would be nowhere to be found. He's out. He's out.
Hey, so much love. So much love on this show right now.
So, Danny, tell me this. Talking expansion again, let's go back a little bit. But is it for Major League Baseball, is it the city that's more important, or is it the investors that's got the cash monetarily? Or if they just want to be in, say, like a Nashville or Charlotte or Portland, and they don't have people with cash, will they go in and help try to find some of the money people in the community? So which one's more important?
What a terrific question, Kelly. That is an awesome question. You know, an example is Milwaukee. When Selig was selling, they liked what they saw in Antanasio when he was going after the Dodgers. And when he didn't get the Dodgers, they went back to him and said, hey, the Milwaukee franchise is going to be available. Would you be interested? Many times there's stewards in this, there's tugboats that get the right people aligned with the right city. Let's not kid ourselves. Major League Baseball is going to want the best cities to be poked into their really well-run machine right now. I mean, the game is thriving. Its ratings are good. Market value for their franchise is the highest they've ever been. It's a really good thing to be a baseball owner right now, but they're going to want the best locations. So sometimes, Kelly, if they don't have the right person in that region, they will bring someone to the table because they do require somebody with local ties or living locally to be part of the equation. And they want the control person to be on site if at all possible, merely because it's good for the community, it's great for the fans, and it's great for the viability of the franchise. So I think, the way you're phrasing it is almost finding like a dating app where they match the right person with the right city. And if that person doesn't exist in Nashville, or in Tennessee, they will bring people to the table.
Wow, that's really interesting. So here's another one of these off the wall questions. I hope people don't get tired of me doing this, but George is a more in-game, day-to-day. Billy's the same way, but I like to know how organizations go. So if you're, say, the Chicago White Sox, which you were there, you're the White Sox or you're the Colorado Rockies, or you've had a rough season, and you're the general manager. When do you start the process of off-season stuff? Does that begin after the season, or are you making headway when you know you're really bad? And how does the exit stuff go? Like, are you meeting with minor league people? Are you meeting with all your like? How does all that work at the end of the season when you know that you're more than likely going to be there? You just had a bad season. But how does all that work, and what are the logistics with a general manager trying to get this thing rolling back again for the next year?
That's another terrific question, Kelly. You know, in reality, with those two teams and a couple other, you should have known you're a bad club back in April. And if so, your entire season is really predicated on doing what's right for 26 forward. The trade deadline, the draft, all your maneuverings in the minor leagues, your staffing, your game plan, your strategy. Exit interviews are not as prevalent in baseball as they are in other sports because of our minor league systems. You know, you've got over 120 players in 4 to 5 affiliates, and it's just you can't get to everybody. So what you do like to get is before the minor league season is over, which is in September, get the players aware of what they need to work on in the off season and where we're headed with them in 2026. In reality, there's going to be turnover, there's going to be transition. It's a transient situation when you're a bad club. First of all, you can't bring that same team. Well, you can. The Rockies did it this year, but you can't bring the same team back and have a credible baseball organization simply because the fans, its followers, its sponsors, its ownership demand you become more competitive. So right now, Kelly, seriously, what they're doing is they're scouting for next year. They're scouting for players who might be free agents, might be obtainable in the offseason, players that fit what they're trying to do in 26 forward. One of the problems when there's instability in the baseball organization, which there is frequently when you're a bad club, is that lack of awareness of whether or not the same operators will be doing the club. That deters the club from making bold strategic, I'd say, changes in their basic core strategy.
So my last question here, because I know Billy, he's popped his little head up on the screen. So young gun Billy Derrick is wanting a question. So,
I love
but
it.
I'm looking at the standings right now, and Kansas City Royals, like 2 or 3 months ago, they were not very good, and now they've blossomed and they've hit a stride. And I don't know if they're close to the Detroit Tigers, but what's more important this year? Because I've heard you talk about teams that get on a streak batting, but it doesn't carry over into the postseason. Is pitching the most important thing? Defense, hitting? What is the most important thing at this time of year for ball clubs?
Kelly, there's two situations that happen this time of the year. You have to get in, and then the deck is completely reshuffled, and the way you get in is likely different than the way you win the whole thing. You get in with playing well on days 4 and 5 of your rotation. Who has the better bench? Who has the better subordinate players? Whose schedule works out? Who's healthier? When you get in the postseason, Kelly, the slate is clean. Look at how the good clubs have been just, destroyed in the first and second rounds of the last 2 to 3 years. We've talked about it every fall. So I think what you have in the Royals is a club that's probably playing for a wild card participant spot. And right now, they're a better club than they were a month or two ago. Subsequently, they made some good deals at the trading deadline and in July to give them a little better shot. And that's without their young stud being a real vibrant participant because he's been hurt. He comes back and he's a contributor. This club could be sneaky good in the last 40 days of the season. I would not eliminate them mentally, but Kelly, a lot of people forget that you got to get in. And then when you get in, you've got to try to win it. Some clubs are only capable of getting in and don't have the wherewithal, just team wise and skill wise, and Kelly, sometimes experience wise, to be able to play in the postseason. But you have to get in to get on the dance floor. For a team like the Royals, it'd be great for their franchise, particularly because they're trying to build a ballpark. So I'm sure there's a lot of internal pressure for them to get in.
Danny, this Yankees Red Sox series, I'll be watching this because if the playoffs started now, both of them would have those last couple spots in the wild card. Now, that likely won't happen. They probably won't both get in. They could. But, man, that creates some big stakes this weekend. You got, George told me, Luis Heel on the mound tonight against Lucas Giolito. How big is this series? And have they played in as important of a series as this one in a long time?
Well, we've had a week and a half of really big baseball series. You know, the Dodgers hosted the Padres. That was an enormous series. And the Dodgers, really just shunned them away. The Cubs had a must-play well series in Chicago, a 5-game series that could have ended their season. Instead, today they have the third best record in the National League, and they look like they still have a shot. And Milwaukee's played well, but now we know those are two really good clubs. I think what we have in Boston and the Yankees is a potential really fun series. But, Billy, I'm a little sick of watching the Yankees and the Red Sox play all the time. I enjoy it this year because they're playing to try to get in, but there's way too much publicity for those two teams when they play each other. But I think there's merit to it this week.
Yeah.
Simply because
Danny, you don't think baseball wouldn't like to have that as an opening 2 out of 3 Yankees Red Sox?
Oh, they'd love it. They'd love to have the Dodgers play San Diego. They'd love to see the Blue Jays play the Tigers, but that's not going to happen. I mean, one of the things, let's look at these 12 markets. And here's a key thing for me. Look at the market size that baseball is staring down for the postseason. In the National League, Philadelphia, the Dodgers, Chicago, and the Mets, that is 4 of the top 7 markets in television in North America. In the American League, Detroit, Houston, the Yankees, Boston, Seattle, all big markets. Toronto does not count because it's in Canada. What they have here is a dream because the two teams that don't happen to have big markets in Milwaukee and in San Diego, they've got exciting storylines and natural rivalries. Milwaukee, best team in baseball. San Diego, the fiery rivalry between them and the Dodgers. If this is how it ended, Major League Baseball would dance at these 12 teams being in. The ratings would be the highest they've been in a number of years because they have viable opportunities to win the whole thing with huge early series.
The Cubs are sitting pretty. The Reds got more work to do. They got a coach who's very familiar with playing in the playoffs. If they get in, how much damage could they do? And would you favor them over the Mets? I mean, who would you prefer, Mets or Reds, if you're betting on one of those two teams to make a run in the playoffs?
It would depend how they're playing coming in, how healthy their rotation is. Remember, Billy, it's a best of 3 series. It is so hard to play those first 3 games. It is a totally different brand of baseball. I've been involved in the 7-game series, the wild card, the best of 5. Billy, the best of 3 is an absolute dice roll. You can, you're down in game 1. Look at last year. 4 of the five top teams in baseball were eliminated. I mean, it's an extraordinary experience, but what we have here with those 2 teams are a manager who's never managed in the postseason, and then a manager in Francona who has made a living in the postseason, but his club has not. And as Kelly knows, experience in the postseason is immense. And I'm going to tell you why, guys. It's all time management. You've been getting to the ballpark at 2 o'clock all year. Now all of a sudden there's an extra 45 minutes of media time. For some players that have never been in the postseason, that is absolutely destructive to their time management. Others embrace it, enjoy it, work around it. This is where your veteran players walk you through how to handle the last month of the season, which, Billy, honestly, for some guys, the first time is paralyzing.
Danny, I have a dream. Red Sox as the home team, 2 out of 3, best 2 out of 3 against the Yankees at Fenway.
Oh, that would be amazing. And you know what? There's so much love between those 2 fan groups that it would, I'm sure the Red Sox would offer the Yankee fans like 10,000 tickets in prime locations. No, the sarcasm is dripping on that one, folks. That's the smallest ballpark in the game, and it would rock.
Oh.
But see, here's one of the things, George. Wrigley, Fenway, Citi Field. Think about some of these venues.
Mm-hmm.
Seattle. Who would want to go to Seattle to play a 3-game series?
Against
that is a horribly tough place to play, and their pitching staff is so good. I think this year we're looking at some of the best playoff possibilities that I can remember in the last decade or so.
Speaking of Wrigley, did you guys see that fan that had his laptop in the outfield with him, and he had the mouse and a mouse pad on the bleacher, and I don't know what he was doing, but they showed it on SportsCenter or one of those shows. It was hilarious.
I did, and Billy, I've been there, done that. I did that about 15 years ago, and I did it late in the game. I just went out there, the crowd had emptied out in right center field, and I just thought, this is where I grew up. I'm going to sit out here and have some fun. The best part of that was the guy was still locked in. He kept peeking up, watching the game, and he'd go right back down. To me, that's the ideal baseball office for me. It's a day game. You can then go out, have a bite to eat, get something to drink, hang out for the rest of the day. That's not too bad a world.
Danny, great stuff as always. Talk soon.
Kelly, get that money together and let's get that franchise done. And for the people of Nashville, George, you hit it on the head earlier, and I know you're pressed for time. Now's the time to get everything in place, pursue the franchise with alacrity, and also with some real good depth to your pitch, nail that team down, because other teams, other franchises are going to work at it. Now's the time you got to put it together.
Amen. Talk soon.
See you guys.
Brother. Danny Evans, he's the best in the business at talking this stuff. Love having him on every Thursday. After the break, stat of the day, and then a series of things to talk about as we prepare at 4:20 for the debut of Underdog Picks. This is 94.9 The Fan.
At Electronic Express, we're making it easy to save big this Labor Day with up to 40% off TVs, computers, appliances, mattresses, and everything you need for outdoor entertaining. For a limited time, when you buy 2 or more qualifying LG appliances, you'll get a free 65-inch smart TV. Plus, shopping local comes with perks like free delivery and up to 24 months of interest-free financing. Visit us in-store or online at electronicexpress.com. We've got that.
This is the energy of electrification. Available Type S high-performance variant with nearly 500 horsepower and 278-mile EPA range rating. Choose from our complimentary charging packages so you can charge how you want. The all-electric Acura ZDX. This is the energy of innovation. Accurate, precision-crafted performance. Range estimates for comparison purposes only. Actual range will vary.
Experience the thrill at Gary Force Acura, proud sponsor of the Nashville Predators. GaryForceAcura.com.
If you've got a yard, you may plan on digging it. Like to build an addition, put in a pool, or bury your pirate booty. But you should know that throughout the country, there may be pipelines buried underground. And if you hit one, you've got trouble. Sorry. So before you dig, call 811 to have any buried pipelines located and marked at no charge. For more tips on pipeline safety, visit pipesafety.org. A message from the Tennessee Gas Association, Tennessee Association of Broadcasters, and this station.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
The organization could present Joe Flacco or Kenny Pickett or Dylan Gabriel as a better option to the rest of the world. But you know who they can't lie to? The guys in the locker room that see all those quarterbacks every single day. And if Shedeur Sanders proves to be the best option, Shedeur Sanders will be the week one quarterback. And from a talent standpoint, Shedeur Sanders has more talent in that quarterback room than anybody that's in there right now.
Unsportsmanlike. Weekday mornings starting at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN2. This is Freddie and Harry on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
You give me like a dry rub and a chicken wing, I'm good. You give me barbecue sauce and a chicken wing, I'm good. Ranch and blue cheese, nah, you can put that over there.
I didn't take it for you to like it dry, not your chicken wings.
It depends on who's making them, though. Now, my mother's making them. That's all you need.
Okay.
That's all. Maddie Coleman or Denise Coleman, my wife, are making them. That's all you need. You don't need extras.
Check out more from Freddie and Harry weekdays at 3 Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Now, here's your latest Fox 17 Code Red weather report.
I'm Fox 17 meteorologist Greg Bobitz. Our forecast this morning, upper 60s and low 70s, a little more comfortable to start our day. The afternoon, high temperatures in the upper 80s and partly cloudy throughout the day.
Your sports live here on the Game Nashville Sports Network. Start your engines. Nashville's biggest racing weekend is back. It's the Porchetta Bourbon Music City Grand Prix, August 30th and 31st at Nashville Super Speedway. The speed, the sound, the stars of open wheel racing are all going full throttle. And you can catch every second of the action right here on 102.5 The Game. Brought to you by Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. Racing takes over Music City. Don't miss a lap. Your sports live here on 102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville Sports Network.
Your sports live here. WBUZ HD3 Laverne. All around the world on the Game Nashville app. We are the Game Nashville Sports Network. ESPN 94.9. The Fan.
30 years of the best sports talk in Middle Tennessee. It's the George Plaster Show, featuring Tennessee Sports Hall of Famers Kelly Holcomb and young gun Billy Derrick. And now, here's your host, George Plaster.
Time now for Stat of the Day, brought to you by Apple Collision Centers. You can find them in Old Hickory, Hendersonville, and Gallatin. Give them a call, 615-754-9800, or log on to their website. That's applecollisioncenters.com. All right, we're going baseball today. Danny left a little too early. Kyle Schwarber broke the record for most home runs through the Phillies' 127 games in history. Whose record did he break?
Okay, Kelly, you could go with names like Dick Allen, Greg Luzinski, Mike Schmidt. By the way, that's who I think it is.
That's the only one I know. Mike
Ryan
Schmidt.
Howard is another one.
Okay.
Ryan Howard might be it. You tell me where you want to go.
Man, I initially thought Mike Schmidt. It may be Ryan Howard, George, because he did a lot of good things for the Phillies.
Let's go Ryan Howard.
Boom.
Wow, add up, baby. This happens once every 2 weeks that we actually get one.
Nice get, George.
I'm excited.
Good stuff.
Underdog Picks at 420. But until then, a couple of things that I want to get with you guys about. This came out late yesterday afternoon. The College Football Playoff Selection Committee will begin using enhanced metrics to help evaluate schedule strength and how teams perform against their slate. Duh. What have they been doing for 2 years?
What all does that mean? Advanced, like, don't you have to? Weren't they looking at that already?
I mean,
This is probably to shut up all the people in the SEC talking about strength of schedule. That's what this feels like.
okay, but Billy, here would be my point. Okay, you've got a committee, and I think it's 12, maybe 13 people. They're in a room. And for the last year and a half, they've been evaluating teams. Does anybody in the room ever say, well, now, wait a minute, because this team has played a much tougher schedule than team 2. Team 1, better schedule than team 2. I mean, they act like they haven't had that conversation at all.
Yeah, I don't know. I think a lot of it is because of what happened last year between you had Alabama, South Carolina at 9-3, and instead SMU got in because they beat Clemson. And obviously everybody's up in arms. I don't really. I mean, have you not been using? I'm with you in that. Have you not been using any metrics or advanced metrics? What have you been using?
A Ouija board.
I don't think this is a huge deal.
Yeah, but it does kind of beg the question. Okay, you're making this big to-do about this. What have you been using?
Here's another deal too that you got to think about. Okay, Alabama could have played the weakest schedule on earth, but they end up 12-0. They're going, or 11-1 or 10-2. They could have played a weak schedule. They're still going. Ohio State the same way, Michigan the same way. So, I mean, maybe not Penn State, but like some of those teams kind of get a pass. It seems to me like on all that stuff.
Well,
so I kind of agree with Billy on that. They're trying to shut the mouths of some people, but like certain teams are going to get looked at with a different light than others.
In basketball, we've got the net rankings, right? 1 through 50, 50 through 100, or 101 through 150, and that's how they group teams in terms of who you play, who you beat, who you lost to, where you played them. It sounds like that's what college football is adding. Historically, the selection committee typically has evaluated in this manner, according to this article, but adding it to a computerized metric should help codify the process.
Okay, but help me here, Billy. Last summer, when they probably first had a meeting, here are the 12. Let's get them all together at a hotel and order room service. And they bring the big old chocolate chip cookie and the sundae for everybody. Didn't somebody in that room say, we going to factor in strength of schedule? I mean, they're acting like they've just, discovered electricity.
I'm sure they had a way of comparing teams' strength of schedules. I think what this article is saying is that similar to college basketball, in the net ranking, they're going to have a computerized metric. I don't know what it's going to be, but they're going to make this a more uniform process. But
I guess all I'm saying is I would have assumed that was already being done.
I don't know if the 12 team put a wrench in that. I mean, it shouldn't have, but
it proves the old thing. When you assume, you make. Yeah. Okay.
They're still human beings, though, George. So they're still like they can do all this computer stuff, but there's still going to be human error because they're the ones making the decision.
Right. But I mean, to tell me now that you're going to,
they've been,
ramp up. I mean, isn't this about a year and a half too late?
Yeah, it should have been ramped up to begin with.
Okay. Now let me ask this question. Billy, who was it? It was Seth Emerson put this out there that suddenly we've got the SEC on the verge of a 9-game deal in football. We're going to go 9 conference games. Not a big shock. Okay, we've all known this was a matter of time. It was not an if or whatever. It was when. So what caused when to happen?
That's interesting because I don't know. Obviously, Seth has talked to people, but did he sort of discover that this Mississippi State deal, they're the only one that doesn't have fewer than 4, conference games, non-conference games scheduled. So that means if they take one away, the whole league is able to, enter the 9-game schedule. I don't know.
Well, or is it possible? And I'm a little cynical about this, that in May, while the SEC had a press release put together that they were waiting to tell you we're going to 9, it didn't happen. And I believe it didn't happen because I think the coaches bitched up a storm in those meetings, and it even surprised Sankey the level of how passionate they were, how angry they appeared to feel. And I wonder if basically he said, okay, we're going to cool it for about 3 months. Therefore, we're not going to have coaches popping off at the cocktail party at the spring meeting. And in August, I will put out a memo basically telling the schools, we're going to 9, tell your coaches to shut the hell up.
Yeah, I mean, is it not up to the coaches?
Oh, good Lord, no.
Oh, no, absolutely not.
Good Lord,
it is not.
No.
And what gets me is when they go.
The coaches still don't want 9 games. They're the ones who decide on it, not Sankey.
No, they are not. They absolutely are not.
Okay, I was just
so the coaches get in a room and negotiate with ESPN.
But
no,
is Sankey not asking the coaches? What do you think?
Well, yeah, he did, and he may have realized.
I mean, it sounds like the coaches are bullying Sankey here.
Well, I think my guess is that he decided to let cooler heads prevail for about 3 months, get his ducks in a row with ESPN. Again, I don't know this, but get his ducks in a row with ESPN, find out how much more money this 9th game will give the league, send the memo to the ADs and say, look, we're doing this. You keep your coaches, behaving.
So 9 games in the SEC, what does that do? Are we still going to keep the conference championships, guys? Because I think coaches are now not wanting to be in that conference championship game. That's an extra game. So now you've got 12, and then if you go to the conference championship game, 13. And if you're right on the edge and you go to that conference championship game and then you lose it, all bets off.
I love this one from Inquisitive. Dictatorship, ? Get a union. That's a great line. The problem is, as we all know, it ends up ultimately always coming back to the same thing. Moolah.
Yes. Correct.
And moolah wins out. It always wins.
Oh, wow.
Always.
Chris Lowe of ESPN 10 minutes ago on Twitter. The move to 9 league games in the SEC will begin in 2026. Sources tell the SEC.
All right. There you go.
I may be cynical.
So apparently Mississippi State took away that last non-conference game. The SEC has voted to move from 8 to 9 league football games. Sources tell ESPN the decision comes on the heels of SEC AD's meeting earlier this week in Birmingham. Official announcement expected later tonight.
Which may have been here's how much extra money we're making, and every one of you ADs needs that money for NIL.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's where we are.
I don't think this affects your Texas, your Alabama, your Georgias. the elites of the SEC very much. How do you think Vandy and Mississippi State and Kentucky and Arkansas and certain years Missouri maybe feel about this?
Probably not real good.
And again, each move that is made that we talk about moves us closer to the Super League. This is one of those moves, right? Because naturally, your schools with at the bottom of the pecking order are not. They're not going to like this, and they're not going to be up. They're not going to never going to make an SEC championship.
Well, and their shot to get in a bowl just got worse.
Right. So
they all know that.
So for example, Vandy with 3 non-conference games, you're scheduling cupcakes, right? And then you gotta hope for now 3 SEC wins instead of just 2 outside of the old model of 4 and then 2.
Well, it just got a lot harder as far as bowl eligibility. But Kelly's right. The next move now is, what format is the SEC football title game going to take? Because there's going to be something different.
This timing is wild. I think we originally would have liked Danny to stay on for another 20 minutes, but this is Sankey's going on the SEC Network at 4:30 to break this, and this is now official. And there's a few notes to get to. The SEC will continue with single standings, non-divisional structure. Each school will play 3 annual opponents focused on maintaining many traditional rivalries. Each team's remaining 6 games will rotate among the remaining conference schools. So 3 permanent and then 6 rotating each year.
So, George, you're pretty adamant about the coaches really bucking up against Greg Sankey. So they did this now with the coaches not being there.
That may well be, Kelly. That's a really good point.
Because they're all in fall camp right now. They just broke fall camp. The kids are going to school. They got them out of the way. And they apparently, from that article you just said, they're going to pass it.
Watch and see if any SEC coaches come out and bitch about it. My guess is they won't, because they may be under a gag order.
Gag order. That's what I was going to say. They're not going to say anything about it.
Okay, after the break, we will debut Underdog Picks in a little revamped format. It's not the first time that's ever happened. It'll be fun. Stick around. This is 94.9 The Fan.
When I got my first car, my dad told me, keep the gas tank full and my number on speed dial. Now parents are telling their kids, save 615-242-9000 just in case. I'm Blair Durham. If you or someone you love is in a wreck, call us. We're here to get you the money you deserve.
A go-kart from Mikey's Motors is the perfect way to get around this summer. Whether you're going to the park, the pool, or the playground, do it in a brand new golf cart from Mikey's Motors, Franklin and Murfreesboro.
Summertime fun in Tennessee. That's what we sell at Mikey's Motors. Come see how we roll.
It's easy to say good things about the folks at Strike and Spare Family Fun Centers. Number one, I trust them with something that's near and dear to me, the Plaster and Friends Celebrity Bowling Night. But more importantly, I see the fun people have. They enjoy the bowling. They enjoy the camaraderie, and you will too. Come by any of their locations and get ready to have some fun.
Convenience and value, 2 words that we expect when we do business. Our goal at JHA Company is to deliver just that, both to our school partners and to our customers. Whether you're purchasing photos, yearbooks, class jewelry, letter jackets, school spirit wear, or senior graduation products, we strive to make the experience easy, convenient, and cost-effective. Find out more at jhacompany.com or call 615-867-6345 for more information. JHA, one source, one company.
If you are paying too much for your health insurance, you know what? You need to contact the folks at Pancoast Benefits. Pancoast works with businesses and individuals to tackle the high cost of health insurance. Whether you're a business owner, large or small, self-employed, between jobs, or over the age of 65 and in need of a Medicare plan, Pancoast can help. They make understanding your benefits less difficult and more personal. So check them out today, pancoastbenefits.com, or call them at 615-292-3400. Are you looking for expert medical care in Nashville without leaving your home? Medical House Calls brings concierge-level health care directly to your door. Whether you need urgent attention, ongoing primary care, revitalizing IV therapy, or medically guided weight loss, our experienced providers are just a phone call away at 615-838-2375 or go online, medicalhousecalls.com. For medically guided weight loss, our experienced providers are just a phone call away at 615-838-2375 or go online, medicalhousecalls.com.
Tonight, your Nashville Sounds continue their 6-game series against Louisville at First Horizon Park. Pre-game at 6:20.
Your sports live here on 94.9 The Fan and the Game Nashville app. It's the George Plaster Show. Your sports live here on 94.9 The Fan.
Billy, if you will, real quickly, give the news again. I've got to take a phone call very quickly.
Gotcha. The SEC is headed to a 9-game conference schedule. Just brought it up in the last segment, but it is official, and it looks like Sankey will be on the SEC network at about 4:30, Kelly, to discuss it. And so 9 games starting next season. We're 26, so not much of a wait. I think a lot of the talk was, when's this going to happen? Well, it's going to happen next season. Not this year, but next year.
I think it was a good point of you saying that this is just another step towards what they eventually want to do in a super conference. Now, my question to you is, and my question to George is, if they do have a super conference, do you think they'll still play the teams like Louisiana Monroe and Middle Tennessee, or is it just going to be a 12-game super conference deal?
Who knows? I mean, I don't guess we went into today, believing that today was the day it would happen. Right. But I don't doubt in my cynicism that I'm really close to what went on here, which is that Sankey maybe misjudged the level of bitching and vitriol by the coaches in May and said to himself, let them spew out all their stuff. I'll get this done in July in August, when they're nowhere to be found. That's a really good point on your end, Kelly.
Yeah, but the other thing is the big guy in the conference, which is now Kirby Smart, he was for the 9-game schedule. So I don't know. I'm just going off what you said, and I think that's a valid point of the coaches might have bickered about it so much, but now, just what I said before the last break, they did it without the coaches. The coaches are in fall camp right now. They're practicing. They can't worry about that stuff. They got to look towards this upcoming season. So they got them out of the way, the last obstacle out of the way, and they passed this. I don't know. It's a little sketchy.
It is a little sketchy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. A lot to talk about with Underdog Picks right around the corner. So let me introduce the panel that will be a part of this. In lane 1 is your defending champion, me.
Oh, gosh. Sickening. That's
Kelly
sickening.
Holcomb, also a part of the panel. We bring in Greg Pogue, who last participated participated in the panel about a year and a half ago. Pogie, how are you?
Pogie just froze on us.
Issues with Pogie so far.
He looks astute with his glasses on, though.
He really does. Looks very professorial. Hello, Pogie.
Yeah.
We got all kinds of Pogie issues. I think his mic was muted and bad connection. So we're gonna effort to get Pogie and Al Dorsey on by phone.
This is a real gym shoe operation.
Straight up. That's what I was telling Billy today when I talked to him. We've got 5 games on the slate. So I'm going to get Fresno State, Kansas.
Oh, lighten up. Quit your complaining.
I mean, director, you should have had a little bit more foresight in this, and we should have waited a week. Killing me, Smalls.
That may well be. Okay, so we're efforting to get Pogie back in here in some form or fashion. It looks like he has re-entered the picture. So let's bring him up. Hello, Pogie.
Sorry about that. So, hey, guys.
Are you broadcasting out of Mammoth Cave?
Or New Zealand?
But my wife's from there. So, but hey, whatever. I'm going to go outside. I'll call you right back. Sorry about that, boys.
Okay, this will be lovely. So we'll get a return phone call from Pogie. And now let us say hello to the 5-time champion, one of the great military leaders in our country, a man who in one day tossed the coin at the Army-Navy Classic years ago, flying out of John Toon Airport in Nashville, and then later in the evening tossed the coin at the SEC football title game with Brigadier General Roy Kramer. Ladies and gentlemen, would all of you salute the great General Al Dorsey? General.
George, how are you?
General, I'm good. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm great. I think I need to retire on my laurels, so and not get back into this.
Yeah, but this was something you requested. You have lobbied the committee for, being a piece of this. In the past, people have suspected that you've cheated, that you have used things like the gold. I trust that whatever your work is, it's your own.
Well, I get a little bit of help, I have to admit that, but not by any professional that's paid to do this thing.
Oh, the truth comes out years later.
Yeah. What type of help have you been getting, General?
Just a friend.
Just a friend.
And whoever your friend is really likes the Mac attack.
Bill Parcells.
Well, I was told a long time ago, once you go back, you never go back.
There's no question about that. Absolutely. General, we are excited to have you. Hang with me for just a minute, okay? Now, let's try Pogie, not once, not twice, but let's give it a third shot from an empty car. Pogie, how are you?
Pogie's in parts unknown, George.
This
is a finable offense here. He needs a C note. We need to go eat at Jay Alexander's on Pogie.
The good part about this is that I'm not being blamed for this. I can't possibly be blamed.
No, you'll catch enough later. The fifth member is under the weather today, and he's probably laughing.
We're off to a hot start.
We really are. Chuck McDowell is the president of Medical House Calls. He will join us in this competition. I'm told that there have been perhaps, Kelly, some illegal wagers between Chuck and Pogie, who now enters the scene. Pogie, so good of you to join us.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
You've got the car on right now, don't you, Pokey? Because it is hot outside.
Yeah, no, I've had wireless trouble out here in the woods, so I'm sitting in my chariot right now and looking forward to it. Al Dorsey and Chuck. I mean, I don't know what side bets. I mean, I am going to make before this even starts, I have 2 appeals to the commissioner as we go through. So,
Okay.
Having been a former commissioner who was defrocked mid-season.
Yes. What does defrocked mean?
I was clipped. My wings were clipped.
Yes, rightfully so.
All right, so are we ready to kick off?
Hold on a second. We've got to hear out whatever stupid stuff he's appealing to the commissioner.
Well, first off, what order are we going in today? There's 5 games.
We're going to reveal that in just a minute. Okay. I mean,
And number 2,
relax, Francis.
Okay, thank you, Pee Wee. All right, so and number 2, you go out on a golf course and you play somebody and you have handicaps right. Al Dorsey's a 5-time champion. Chuck McDowell is a pro. Okay, so I think, and Kelly, I just think I need to start with some points, especially if I'm 5th today.
I'm in on that one. Billy, make a decision. The problem is, Pokey, is Billy can't make. He struggles making decisions.
I will give Poggy 2 points to start.
Absolutely not.
Hey, you're a panelist. He's the commissioner. Come on, man.
No, I run this show, baby. General, I know you're listening to all this. Before we go to the break, do you have any advice for Billy, who is commissioner, but frankly, with no power, with no teeth behind the office? It's really not an honor to be commissioner.
I have no dog in this hunt because I know Billy is not real fond of my balls. So I'm going to try and be real nice to him all year.
Wow.
That's a good move, General.
So he's, in a backhanded way, accusing you of bias.
Hey, that's fair. I respect that claim from the General, but I'll keep that in mind throughout the season.
Here is the order that we will go in this week 1. The great military leader, Al Dorsey, will be the leadoff hitter. Chuck McDowell, who's under the weather, will have his pick second, and Billy will handle that pick. Poggy, who needs to relax a little bit out there in Uganda, he will pick third. Kelly Holcomb will be 4th, and I'm saddled with Idaho State in the 5th slot.
Might as well just pencil you in.
Probably so. Okay.
Yeah, go Vandals.
George, I think I'm on the broadcast now. I think I got it figured out. Can you tell? I see my face.
Oh, wait a minute. That's we'll work on that during the break. But for now, we've got you on the phone, and that's a pretty good start to it. We're in the on-deck circle on 94.9 The Fan.
When I got my first car, my dad told me, keep the gas tank full and my number on speed dial. Now parents are telling their kids, save 615-242-9000 just in case. I'm Blair Durham. If you or someone you love is in a wreck, call us. We're here to get you the money you deserve.
Nashville Sounds Baseball is back in Hit City for the 2025 season. Create a summer of memories at the ballpark with weekly giveaways, fireworks shows, and more. Tickets are on sale now.
Sports and Social in Green Hills Mall is the new home for our Football Night in Nashville promotion. Their food is terrific. Their TV setup looks like a racing sports book in Vegas. And if you're a sports fan, you can't beat it. Starting September the 4th, we'll broadcast from Sports and Social every Thursday night. There's Pop-A-Shot, great football, and the chance to win a beautiful Mikey's Motors golf cart. See you at Sports and Social in Green Hills Mall. Here's Officer Garen Hoskins for the Metro Nashville Police Department.
The Metro Nashville Police Department is on the forefront of policing in this century, and I'm glad I'm a part of it. I'm glad I get to find other good officers, other future good officers. And if you're watching today, or you yourself or someone you happen to know is interested, join MNPD.com. Feel free to reach out to us because we need good officers, and it's a great city to work for.
Star Physical Therapy was established in 1997 with one great mission: to serve. If you're hurting, don't wait to receive physical therapy. You don't need a referral to see their physical therapist, and early morning and evening appointments are available. Make the call to 615-673-1420 and get rid of that pain. Star Physical Therapy, the official health provider of Football Friday. Physical Therapy, the official health provider of Football Friday.
Two total screw-ups of humongous proportions.
Sports. We're not living in an era where perfection is necessary.
They thought they were a championship contending team.
Here, we told you not to do this. Your sports live here.
On ESPN 94.9.
And the Game Nashville Sports Network. It's the George Plaster Show.
Your sports live here
On 94.9 The Fan.
Those of you listening on radio, you're just going to have to assume that I'm telling the truth. But those of you who are watching this by way of podcast, in the left corner of the screen, indeed, is the great military leader, the General, Al Dorsey. General, talk me through the process of getting you on the Zoom.
Oh, he's muted.
He's muted.
George, just like I told Billy over the break, maybe next week we can have all of Davidson County on here. Let's see if we can get everybody involved. We can just do the whole show on it.
Well, why don't you just lighten up?
Gosh.
Okay, so help the general. What does he need to do to unmute?
There is a microphone button at the bottom of the screen, and there should be a red X mark around it right now. Click that to unmute yourself.
Great radio, George.
Great radio, isn't it? Okay.
I don't know why we were doing it, Kelly. You and I represent Rutherford County, and Al and Plaz Davidson and Chuck lives in Williamson, so we are diverse.
Well, that's wonderful, Pogie. Thank you for your added perspective.
Thanks, Pogie.
Can you hear me now?
Beautiful.
We've got him. He's back.
Okay. We are ready for week one of the competition. Commissioner, not that it really matters, take it away.
All right. Leading us off, week 0 of Underdog Picks. We've got 5 games on Saturday, and General Al Dorsey leads us off. General, where are you going this week?
Wait a minute. What happened to the music?
I cannot forget the music. Here it is.
What in the world?
Really, that's another
that's bad.
That's another $100 for you.
Okay. Almost forgot about the music. Here we go with the General Al Dorsey.
Wish that I was on old Rocky Top down in the Tennessee hills. Ain't no smoggy smoke on Rocky Top, ain't no telephone bill.
Oh, General.
I know it. The whole thing, Billy was almost trying to not play that. He just did not want to play that.
That was tough, I'll admit.
You've got some issues on Billy, don't you?
Yes. Well, no, he has them on me.
Hey, put your comments in the comment box there about Billy there, General.
He's already stuffed it.
Who are you going with?
All right. Let's see. Well, I lost my screen here. Just a second.
What did your friend tell you to take?
Well, I don't know whether to take the safe one or really take the good one. But it's the first week. It's early. There's a lot of game time left. Fourth quarter's what counts. We're going to go with Fresno State.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Little surprise right off the bat.
Wow.
Next
Fresno.
up, yes, Commissioner.
Fresno plus 12 at Kansas. That is Saturday at 5:30 on Fox. All right. Up next, he's not with us today, but it is Chuck McDowell.
And Billy will be
outside.
Our women get hot and our liver gets stained when we saddle up and ride 'em in the pouring rain. When a jump got dog with a
All right. So the General has set myself, but more importantly, Chuck up with a great opportunity. And I feel like I got to take Iowa State plus 3 against Kansas State in Ireland. So I'm going to go with the Cyclones plus the 3 in Ireland against K-State. I think that's a good pick.
That's a good
Chuck.
solid
and
pick.
The General has set up Chuck with that pick. All right, up next is Greg Pogue.
Hold on. Notice, those of you in the podcast, notice how the General making notes. Kelly, it's very impressive, the body of work that he's displaying.
Oh, there's no question. I mean, he's got spreadsheets. He's got spreadsheets in front of him looking at all this. We only got 5 games. Wait till you get a full slate, man. He'll have it all over the room.
I can't remember what I picked yesterday, so I'm having to write it down.
Who's next, Billy?
Pogie. Here we go. Pogie?
Yes, sir. Yeah, by the way, the Brewers beat the Cubs this afternoon and restored a little bit of order. I hate doing this, but, Stanford's sitting out there. You win that one, you're not getting much. I got to go against – you leave me no choice to go against my Hilltoppers, my alma mater. I'm going to go with Sam Houston State up in Bowling Green Saturday night, plus 10.5. What do you have, Billy? I had it at 10.5.
Yep, 10.5.
Yep.
Okay, I'm going against my Hilltoppers. You coach, at Sam Houston State, was at Temple. Casey Kessler did a great job. And, new quarterback moves in at WKU, first game, out of Abilene Christian, transfer. So, I hope I'm wrong, quite frankly. But if I am wrong, I get 10.5 points.
Does this get you removed from the Red Towel Club?
Yes, I've long been removed from that. Yes.
I cannot believe you did that, Pogie. That was the game I was going to take. You're going against your alma mater.
You've never picked against MTSU?
I told those guys I never would. Did I not?
Yeah.
That's true.
Hey, but Kelly, we only got 4 games, and let me say this. I come in plaster going last. And if Idaho State hits, I quit this contest.
I may too.
Y'all are the biggest bunch of whiners. I don't know why a general would want to get. General, you wouldn't have allowed this during your military days, would you?
Well, you talk about ROTC?
Yes.
Or Fort Leavenworth.
Yeah. Who's next, Billy?
Up next is Kelly Holcomb.
The preacher man says it's the end of time, and the Mississippi River, she's a going dry. The interest is up and the stock market's down.
All right, Kelly, what you got?
Okay, so since Poggi went against his alma mater, which is kind of sad to me, but I am not taking that game. I'm going to give that to George. So I guess give me the Hawaii Rainbows.
Okay, Rainbow Warriors. They are getting actually, Kelly. They are favored. They are favored. So you're taking Stanford.
It doesn't say that on my screen. Oh yeah, it does. No, it doesn't. Okay, but yeah, I'll take Stanford. I mean, that's yeah.
Do you have any idea what the hell you're doing?
Yes, I do. But on my screen right here, because I don't look at what y'all look at, it says on my screen the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors are not favored.
Well, according to CBS Sports, this site I don't
get that one. But okay, I'll go with Stanford. Yes.
Okay, so Kelly got it figured out.
According to mine, it says that Hawaii's favored too, but I'm not going to tell you where I did it.
Hey, Kelly. Hey, you don't have to subscribe to CBSSports.com, so that's in your wheelhouse.
Yeah, I don't get on CBS. I don't do that one. I do another one, and on mine it's wrong. So obviously.
So we've all got these secret sites we're doing.
Hold on. We want to find out about that. General, the site you're using, is it based in the United States of America?
I don't divulge any information.
I'm sure you don't.
Okay, last but not least, George Plaster.
Where the only thing you feel are loaded guns in your face, and you'll have to deal with
George?
If you have no scars in your face, then you haven't dealt with pressure, Kelly. That's what the song says. Idaho State, who cares?
Idaho State getting 26.5 at UNLV. UNLV with a new coach, Barry Odom, now at Purdue. So who knows? Maybe magic happens in Vegas.
Well, they didn't make them a 26.5-point dog because they're all that good.
What conference is Idaho State in?
I don't know.
Anybody know?
The Alaskan Conference, probably. Who knows?
Okay.
Aren't they? I think they're FCS, right? Or they FBS? I don't know.
Oh, it's FCS. They got to be FCS. Yeah, they're FCS.
FCS, right?
Do they have stands on both sides?
Huh? I don't know that.
That's a discussion that has caused a lot of grief over the years.
Let's go. Let's pick a game that has stands on both sides.
Well, the general kept doing that one year, and finally I put that out there. He turned all red-faced. It was hilarious. Do you have review at this point?
Review material?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm going to pop up the order and take a little review. General Al Dorsey is going with Fresno State plus 12 at Kansas. So Fresno plus 12 at Kansas. I got Iowa State plus the 3 against K-State in Ireland for Chuck McDowell. So that's what we got for Chuck. Poggi going with Sam Houston plus 10.5 against WKU. That is in Bowling Green. Kelly Holcomb going with Stanford plus 2.5 at Hawaii. And George riding with Idaho State out of the Big Sky Conference plus 26.5 at UNLV. Gentlemen, good luck this weekend.
Whatever. Stuff it. General.
Yes, sir.
How many of these picks end up winning in week one?
One.
Did you say one?
Yes.
Okay. So all of y'all have heard the news in that kind of has broken in the last 35, 40 minutes that the SEC is going to 9 conference games a year from now. General, in your opinion, how exactly did this play out at the end?
Well, as Kelly said earlier, it's always about the money. That's the final thing, and they'll make more money that way.
Poggi, how did it play out?
Well, I think that when you have the Big Ten, you have others, but I think that extra game, TV wants it, certainly the money component of it. I think at large, making up even 4 to 5 of it. So I think to get to that where each league of the Power or the Big Ten and the SEC would be guaranteed 3 plus 1, they had to go to 9 to get that.
So, General, what do you think this does? Kelly brought it up earlier. This feels like the time that the SEC is going to change something about the SEC title game. What do you think they do change?
I don't see him, again, it gets back to the money. I don't see him doing away with the title game unless the powers to be want to put everything in the playoffs and forget the titles games for everybody.
Oh, I don't think they get rid of the title game, but do they change the format of it where it's not just the 2 best teams that automatically play in that game?
Well, I think after last year, they realized, all this about making it fair for the smaller conferences is going out the window. They're going to take the however many it is at that time. If it's 12, they're going to take the best 12 teams, no matter where they come from.
Poggi?
Yeah, the SEC championship game's not going anywhere. Too much of a money. I think they would, a lot like they do let's take for the SEC basketball tournament. Those seedings are already set, basically, unless somebody plays in, their way into the 64. But you're Tennessee and you're a 1 seed going into that tournament. You lose your first game, you're a 1 seed coming out of it.
Yeah, but it's not that cutting. Yeah, go ahead, Kelly.
Do you think that the SEC and Greg Sankey will make it whereas, just changing, not changing the rules, but make it as, hey, if the SEC teams get to the SEC championship, they've got automatic bids?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, the top 2 teams in the league should get bids, automatic anyway. And that would just determine the seeding between those 2.
But then what happens if you get like an 8-4 team and then they end up losing the SEC championship game? You know what I'm saying? Like, what happens then?
Well, I think they take the top 2 teams every year, and an 8-4 team's not going to be in there.
Yeah.
Remember,
never know.
Remember, you all heard this, General. This is just one person's crazy opinion. The SEC title game within a couple of years is going to become a doubleheader. Number 3 versus number 6, number 4 versus number 5.
If they add more teams to the playoff, which add another game, I don't see that happening.
Nobody agrees, do they?
I don't know.
No.
That's interesting. You might have had a stroke of genius there.
Poggi, thank you.
Rare.
Guys, speaking of genius, we've got to run because Plaster Bet of the Day is in the on-deck circle. General, any military maneuvers in your near future?
No, George, I to stay at home these days. Hit the golf course every now and then. I'll be in Kelly's stomping ground in a couple of weeks.
I like
Atta
it.
babe.
I'm going to Old Fort.
We'll see you next week. Pogie, behave until next week.
All right. See you guys. Thanks.
We'll go to the break. Round one is done. My guess is next week, technology will take over and we'll do better. This is 94.9, The Fan.
Hey guys, it's Mike from Newton Nissan South. Summer is almost at its end. Let's make sure we end summer on a super fun note. I'm talking yes days, pool days, spontaneous vacation days, and how about a major giveaway from us really to put some icing on the cake for you? That's right. Soak up these last days of summer with the ultimate summer date night giveaway. Here's how to enter. Visit NewtonNissanSouth.com to find the ice cream cone symbol on a random page of our website. Once you find it, take a screenshot and send it to us in a message on our Facebook or Instagram. We'll announce the winners on September 1st. Happy summer and happy searching.
Willie Donick here for Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville. The summer is winding down and fall will be here before we know it. My friends at Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville have amazing special deals right now, and they're just in time to replace those old drafty windows for the cold winter months. I endorse Pella because they are the highest quality windows and doors, the most trusted brand, and they improve the value of your home over all the others. So go with the experts at Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville. Visit PellaNashville.com for more information.
Every child deserves to start the school year with confidence. For over 5,000 kids in Middle Tennessee, that's not always possible. A donation of just $20 provides a new pair of athletic shoes, giving a child one less thing to worry about. That's Souls for the 615, brought to you by Cromwell Media and Souls for Souls. We've teamed up to make sure every child in our community steps into the year ready, and we need your help. Head to thegamenashville.com/shoes and donate today, because every child deserves to walk into school with pride.
Previously on Clinton and Friends. Mardi Gras Bob, what's going on today, buddy?
Where you at, gentlemen? Pleasure to visit with you. I went to nursing school at the University of Arizona in Tucson. You can't put your shoes on the floor because of scorpions. Your picnic furniture always has black widows under it. It's dangerous. You don't sweat, so you'll die before you even know it hit you. Go to someplace cooler.
Clinton and Friends, weekdays from 10 to noon Eastern on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
Now, here's your latest Fox 17 Code Red weather report.
I'm Fox 17 meteorologist Greg Bobitz. Our forecast this morning, upper 60s and low 70s, a little more comfortable to start our day. The afternoon, high temperatures in the upper 80s and partly cloudy throughout the day.
Your sports live here on the Game Nashville Sports Network. Start your engines. Nashville's biggest racing weekend is back. It's the Borchetta Bourbon Music City Grand Prix, August 30th and 31st at Nashville Super Speedway. The speed, the sound, the stars of open wheel racing are all going full throttle, and you can catch every second of the action right here on 102.5 The Game. Brought to you by Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. Racing takes over Music City. Don't miss a lap. Your sports live here on 102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville Sports Network. It's the George Plaster Show. Your sports live here on 94.9 The Fan.
One of Red Sox Yankees tonight, beginning of a crucial 4-game series. Also got a few preseason games tonight to close things out. We'll see where George is going with Bet of the Day, brought to you by Bart Durham Injury Law. We take a look at what happened last night.
Ugh, the
Reds.
Tough 2-1 loss in Anaheim. Okay, tonight we're going with the team that's got the momentum, and that's the Yankees. And I hate this because I would love for the Red Sox to beat out the Yankees, but I'm not buying it. We're taking the Pinstripes tonight at home at the mausoleum that they play in. And do you like that?
The mausoleum.
It's kind of a museum. Doesn't feel like a ballpark. Feels like a museum. Anyway, Kelly, I know you're gone tomorrow, but tomorrow we will begin our Football Friday coverage. We will broadcast live from Father Ryan High School, and we'll get all that going. Football Friday at 3 p.m., assuming that Billy doesn't get us locked out because he's made no monetary contributions.
None at all. That's a shame.
Pitiful.
Check back.
All the money that George is paying you, and you can't give a little bit of something, you know?
What in the world? See all of you tomorrow here on the show.